What's going on, guys? It's your host, Invisible DFS. I'm here for segment 2, where we're gonna talk about my cheap plays. All right. Anyway, guys, I make a change in the way I do segment 2, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna make the changes for segment 3, but most likely not. So the change is basically it's gonna be a list of 7 players, which consists of one quarterback, two running backs, two receivers, and two tight ends. So it's 7 players. Basically, for DK, it's gonna be my quarterback, running back, wide receiver. I'm gonna pick the players that are 5.5K and lower, and for the tight ends, I'm gonna go down to 4.5K and lower. As far as the price remain the same, but the changes is basically I'm gonna use FD and DK website to show my players rather than put them down on the sheets. All right, and then for FD, of course, 7 players, one quarterback. So the change is from 2 quarterback to one. That is 7.5K or lower, and 2 running backs and 2 receivers that are 6.5K and lower, and of course the two tight end 5.5K and lower. So those players are players you can use to help you with your lineups as far as cheap plays. After I take a hard look of all the players, those are the players that I come with that I really like as far as cheap plays that can help you complement your lineup. So let's go ahead and jump to my cheap plays for DK. When I check DK, as far as the quarterback that is 5.5K and lower, it's really hard to find anybody that I really like, because there are certain guys I thought before the price came out, I thought that would be on that range, but I guess because of matchup, they priced them up. So the player that I come up with is Philip Rivers against Tennessee. All right, so Philip Rivers at 5.5K. When you look at the list, you can go with Stafford because Stafford been throwing the ball a lot. I mean, last night, the way the game started, I thought he was going to throw for 400 yards and possibly 4 touchdowns, but every time they get to the field goal line, to the end zone, they just keep kicking field goal. I think they kick about 5 field goals and they end up losing the game. So basically, I'm going with Philip Rivers. I think they're going to bounce back and win this game against Tennessee. Then again, you never know. So regardless, I expect him to go back to his at least 20 fantasy points for the 5.5K. So I need to see back to the Philip Rivers to Allen combo because he has for the last 2 weeks he hasn't been connected at all. So I expect him to go back and be a little bit better. I know he had 20 fantasy points, but I need him to go back to what he was doing week 1, week 3, and week 4. So Philip Rivers to Allen, I see it, a better connection this week. And for that reason, at 5.5K, when you're looking at that price range, that's the player that I like. All right, so for running back, guys, I'm gonna go. I've been on this guy all year, so I'm gonna go Freeman because right now Freeman, like it doesn't even feel like he's been really doing good. But if you look at him for the last every week, he has been better every week. So when looking at the game log, week 1 he had 5.1, but 9.4, 12.5, 18, 18, and 26. And then it's what that price are definitely gonna go with M5. His price went down after this week, which is crazy. I know it's because they play LAR, their defense is not that bad, but Freeman is so involved in the passing game, you have to take a chance on him. He had 2 receiving touchdowns. All right, and then every week you see no quarterback throw the ball more than this quarterback, and looks like they are playing behind or not, they're gonna throw the ball because they don't really run much, even though Freeman had 18 carries and I think over 20 something the week before. So Freeman is my first cheap running back. My second cheap running back, I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs. The thing is, I was hoping the week before, that's the week before he had 12. Oh man, I wish that the week he had 32 because I had a great lineup with him, but he only gave me 12 and I was on him. But last week, because of where they play, so nobody was really, I think they play overseas, so it didn't really matter. But Jacobs with 26, I'm hoping that's just the beginning. I'm hoping that's just the beginning. So against Chicago, yes, Chicago has a great defense, but it looks like that's gonna be a game where they're gonna be grinding. It's gonna be a low scoring game. So for that reason, I like Jacob. So I see that if they're only gonna score one or two touchdowns, Jacob should have one of them. And for that reason, and the fact that he's look like every week he's getting more and more carries, and I like that. So Jacobs will be my second running back. All right. And as far as my receiver, I'm gonna stay with that game and go with Robinson. Robinson is my first 5.5K and lower receiver. I love that price. I mean, I was on him, and when I said he was gonna have his first touchdown, and I was right. He had more than one touchdown. He had two touchdowns. All right, so Robinson, I'm sticking with him. His price went down. I'm not sure why, but I will play Robinson at 5.5K anytime against whoever they play. All right, guys. Anyway, let's go back to Jacobs. I said they play in Chicago. They actually play in Green Bay, and Green Bay defense is not really been that good against running. So that's so my bet on this one. Jacobs. I love Jacobs against Green Bay. I expect him to be. Uh, like I said, if they score two touchdowns or even more, I expect Jacobs to be part of that. So let's go back to Robinson. Yes, Robinson. I called on him to have his first touchdown last week because of the quarterback change, and that happened. And this week, I like him against New Orleans. All right, so either they're gonna be playing behind or regardless, I expect Robinson to be a big part of the offense. So Robinson is my first receiver. As far as my second receiver, I have a couple of choices. I have Tate or John Brown. So I decided to go with John Brown. I mean, against Miami and with Allen at the quarterback. John Brown is his main receiver. And Buffalo at home, regardless if Buffalo gonna blow Miami out or not, I expect John Brown to be a big part of it. And if you look at his targets, he get the targets when with Allen because Allen always look for him first. So his last game was 5 targets, but he still ended up with 12.5 fantasy points. But if you look as his last two games, basically, you know, last 3 games, Cincinnati, that's when Allen get hurt against, I believe. So that hurt him a little bit. So against this week, against Miami, I expect him probably to go back to what he did in week 1. I'm not saying he's gonna get 28, but anything above 14 would be great. And at that price, that's his highest price, but I still like him at 5.5K. And I know he's probably gonna be one of the most popular players this week, but I like him as my second cheap player. And of course, like I said, Tate is another guy I like, but I decided to go with Brown over him. So, Tate is what I can use him as an honor player, so as a bonus player. But I will go with John Brown against him. So, and then my first tight end is Henry. All right, so Henry price is only 4K because of the fact they play late, so the price came out late. They play on Sunday night, so the price came out earlier, so that's why it's only 4K. So that's probably the only time you're gonna see him at that price. And remember, at the beginning of the year, a lot of us expect Henry to be one of the most uh, one of the best talent in the league, and if he's back and healthy, I think that's exactly what it's gonna be. He's gonna be one of the top five tight end. And if you look at his targets, you see that 9 targets, 8 receptions. I'm not saying he's gonna get 9 targets, but expect at least him to be the second best catching player for that team next to Allen. So Henry is the at 4K is gonna be very very popular, but that's one of those chalk you have to bite and just be part of it because you might regret if not. All right, and then as far as the second, that's another guy that also played before the salary came out, but he didn't do good last night. But I'm gonna go back to him because of his price. Hawkinson is my second cheapest tight end. Hawkinson is my second cheapest tight end. Last night, I mean, like, uh, he has 6 targets. That's really good. So the target is there. So the only thing is, we was hoping he get to the end zone, but they couldn't score for nothing last night. So, uh, but Hawkinson at 3.6K. When you're looking at the tight ends choices this week, they are much better than last week because as far as the cheap tight end, last week we didn't like anybody, and as you can see, the cheap tight end really didn't do anything last week. So guys, my cheap receivers for DK is Philip Rivers, quarterback, Freeman Jacobs for running back, Robinson John Brown for receivers, Henry and Hawkinson for tight ends. Let's jump to FD and check out my cheap plays there. Alright, so as you guys know that the price are different in the FD, so that's why I show you guys in the beginning my price range for the cheap plays in FD. So quarterback is 7.5K and lower, and the quarterback I come up with is Jones. Jones, I like Jones this week against Arizona. So Philip Rivers is 7.6 over there is way cheaper, and then Jones here is cheaper when he is more expensive than Philip Rivers in DK. But Jones is, look at this. You have all those quarterback in front of him, but I like him this week. I know he hasn't been doing good in the last 2 weeks, of course, because of the team that he played against, but against Arizona, I expect him to bounce back, and Jones is my cheap quarterback. It's a guy that I'm expecting to go back in the 20s in fantasy points. So Jones, again, like I said, is my cheap quarterback. All right, so for my running back, I'm gonna go with Freeman because it's 6.5K and lower. So Freeman, I already talked about Freeman, so I'm not gonna add anything else. So Freeman is my first cheap running back. That is 6.5K and lower. My second is Coleman. Coleman against Washington. Regardless, so San Fran is actually for real, man. We have to. I mean, if you look at the defensive, they the first or second, or second. I think the highest they are is like 6 in almost every category. So Coleman, I expect him to be a main part of the offense. Possibly 1 or 2 touchdowns, hopefully in the goal line. But if San Francisco will jump ahead, so they're most likely gonna run the ball, and Coleman should be the guy that's gonna be doing that. So Coleman is my second running back. All right. And as far as 6.5K receivers, who I get lucky on this range, and I like that. I mean, 6.5K against Baltimore. Baltimore defense, people's thinking about, when people think of Baltimore, a lot of people probably shy away because they think of all those, 14 some season where they have a great defense since Lewis, Ray Lewis. But this year, and then especially the way they started in the preseason, I think they were going to go back to be one of those defense, but that's not it. So Baltimore, Tyler Lockett, I expect Lockett to be a big part of the offense. This game most likely gonna be a shootout against two great quarterbacks. So Lockett definitely should be a big part of the offense. And Lockett is my first receiver, that is 6.5K and lower. My second receiver is Tate. Now, there's a chance, to be honest, I could change him because of Shepard might be coming back. But even if Shepard come back, most likely I will stick with him because I think Tate will be a guy that's gonna be seen, especially against Arizona. Even if Tate is back, I will actually probably stick with him. But Tate right now, I'm talking about Golden Tate, not Odin Tate. Golden Tate is my second cheap receiver. So if Shepard isn't there, it should be even way better. But with Shepard, I still expect him to see a lot of balls coming his way. So he had 6 targets the week before and 9. So I'm expecting him to be somewhere between those two. Or even more, because this game could be a shootout, and if that's the case, I love him at 6.1K. When you go to tight end, in FT, it's a little bit harder to get a good tight end because I look at when you look at tight end, it's 5.5K and lower. That's what I look for. And you know, Hunter Henry is not there. So the first guy I can come up with, of course, is Hawkinson. Like I said, I like him when you're looking at for a player at that price range. But most likely, I'm gonna try to stay above that price range in FD. But I will definitely take a chance on him if I'm looking for someone at that price range. And Hawkinson is my first tight end. I already talked about him, so no need to say anymore. And Delanie Walker. The thing about it, I wanted to say that's my second tight end, that the quarterback is the problem, but it looks like the offensive line is really bad over there. So I'm hoping somehow they can bounce back. But whew, even if the team doesn't bounce back, at least the Delanie Walker can see some balls coming his way, and hopefully he can get to pay dirt and get a touchdown there at 5.2K. That would be nice, nice player to have that can give you double digits points. So in FD, guys, my quarterback is Daniel Jones, Devonta Freeman, Tevin Coleman, Tyler Lockett, Golden Tate, TJ Hawkinson, and Delanie Walker. Those are my cheap plays for FD and DK. Alright, guys, so tomorrow expect to get my 5 players coming out as early as I can. Also later today, possibly I will be posting the NBA preseason for tonight. Alright, so check this out later, guys, if you guys play NBA preseason. Alright, guys, I'm out. I appreciate you guys. Alright, good luck. Don't, like I always mention, don't spend money that you guys cannot afford to lose. And please subscribe, share, turn on your bell notification so as soon as I put a video out, so you guys can receive it. I'm out.